Hey, you may remember that Tara and I did a safety video not too long ago. And in that video, I promised you we'd be going over guns on the trail video. So that's what this is today. And I have my coffee now and I'm ready to go. All right. A question that we've gotten a lot when it comes to hiking the trail is, did we bring a gun? And the quick answer to that question is no. Okay. I just want to start off by saying I totally understand why someone would choose to bring a gun. I also totally understand why someone would choose not to. So this video is not going to be me telling you what you should or shouldn't do. Okay. The biggest thing I want to do here is walk through the questions that I asked myself that helped me make my decision. So that's all it's going to be, what brought me to make my decision, and I hope these questions are going to help you make that decision for yourself. In this video, we'll be going over 3 main points. One being legally carrying, if that matters to you, about making sure you're doing it lawfully. Another point being self-defense, which should be your only reason for bringing a gun on trail. And then finally, we'll just go over this quickly, it's safety on trail. Since Tara and I just did a safety video about being on trail, that'll just be like a quick overview. So let's jump into it. Legally carrying. I just don't recommend not carrying a gun illegally, you know, if you're not going to have your permit or whatever, period. If you know anything about carrying, having a concealed carry or open carry, there are a lot of laws that go into that. There are also a lot of laws that differ going state to state. So you need to realize, especially if you're hiking the AT, you're going to be hiking through 14 different states, from deep south to as north as you can go. So if you have a concealed carry permit, wherever you're from, I'm sure you know this, but some states might not accept that. They might not recognize your permit. So if you want to do that legally, if you're trying to conceal, I mean, it's a headache, but you can make that. You can do it legally. It's just going to be challenging. Also, another thing to realize is you're going to be hiking through a lot of state parks, national forests, and national parks. So you need to realize you might have, even though you're in a state and you understand their gun laws, all of a sudden that's going to change real quickly when you just cross into a national park. Okay, so that's another thing you need to look into. The National Park Service website actually has a page about bringing guns into their parks. It says visitors should not consider bringing firearms as protection from wildlife. So if that's the thought that you have, like, I should bring a gun on this through hike because of animals, I don't think you need to worry about that. You could probably do a little bit more research on interaction with wildlife on trail, how to interact with animals, and kind of how to carry yourself when you see maybe like a bear on trail or like deer or whatever. All right, so on to point number 2, and this is self-defense. This is going to be self-defense against another person. Like we just said, if you're thinking self-defense against animals, you just probably, you really don't need that. So self-defense against another person. This should be the only reason that you're bringing a gun on trail if you choose to do so. All right, bringing one because you think it's cool. That's probably the wrong reason. Okay, so if you do choose to bring one, nobody should know that you have it. Okay, it's not something to flash. It's not something to show off. There are a lot of people on trail, a lot of different kinds of people on trail. And if you're bringing a gun to show it off, you're probably going to just get yourself into trouble. Okay, so if you're bringing it for your own protection, and it's not coming out unless you're caught in that situation. Okay, moving on. Big question that I ask myself is, if I bring the gun, am I willing to use it if I'm caught in a situation where someone's trying to hurt me or Tara? Okay, if I'm not willing to use it in that situation, if I'm not willing to pull it out and defend myself or defend Tara, then I shouldn't bring it. Okay, because let's say I have the gun on me. Someone's trying to hurt me, someone's trying to hurt Tara, and I have the gun on me, but I'm not willing to use it. All that means is I brought a gun into a very dangerous situation and I'm not going to use it. That means it could fall into his hands, and now he has a gun, which is just terrible. Okay, so if you ask yourself, am I willing to pull it out and use it in self-defense? The answer to that is honestly no. Then there's your answer to bringing it on trail. No, don't. Follow-up question to that is, am I willing to deal with the consequences of using a firearm in self-defense? Okay, so there are also a lot of laws that come to what true self-defense is. If someone's coming at me in a threatening way, I pull out a gun and he walks away, and and it's over, and I still choose to use it, that could be no longer considered self-defense if the threatening situation's over. Okay, so just realize what the laws are, realize what the laws about using a gun in self-defense are. Be sure that you're willing to deal with those consequences if you choose to bring a gun. Real quick, if the answer to either of those questions are no, I'm not actually willing to use it if I'm in a bad situation, or no, I'm not willing to deal with the consequences if I end up using it. If either of those are no, there's the answer for you, okay? Don't bring it with you. All right, moving right along. Point number 3, it's gonna be safety on trail. I'm just gonna go quickly through this because Tara and I just recently did a safety on trail video, so you can check that out. But safety on trail in context of having a gun. One question I asked myself was, am I bringing this gun just as like a mental safety blanket? You know, just to make me feel better where at least I have a gun. Ask yourself that question, like find out why is it that you really want to bring it? Because if I just want to have it, like I mentioned before, if I just want to have it to make me feel better, but then I'm not willing to use it, like make that decision before you go on the trail with a gun, because having a gun with you is too serious of a matter than to just a quick mental like safety blanket fix. Okay, question number 2 is, am I bringing this gun on trail to make my family back home feel better? Are they telling me, hey, like you're only going on the trail if you bring a gun? Again, you're the one who's gonna have to use it if the time comes, and you're the one who's gonna have to deal with the consequences, not your family back home. So if you're doing it just for them, also probably not a firm enough reason to bring one. It can be a reason if you ask yourself the other questions, but if that's the driving question, am I bringing this because of them? They're not going to be out there with you. They shouldn't be making that decision for you. So to finish off with the questions, last big question that I ask myself is, okay, can I be safe on trail without using a gun? And I think after hiking the trail, Tara and I would both tell you absolutely. There are plenty of things that you can practice on trail to keep safe, to keep yourself safe. One quick point that we've talked about in our other video was the kinds of people that you surround yourself with. Okay, it's a big community out there. There are a lot of different kinds of people, but you can definitely surround yourself with your trail family, and they'll look out for you and you'll look out for them. So yeah, more points on staying safe on trail, definitely just check out our other video. We go through what we did to stay safe, and we didn't have a gun. So yeah, check that out. All right, so I hope that video was helpful. Like I said, those were just questions that I asked myself. One about legally carrying, another about self-defense and what that looks like for me on trail, and then 2, just safety on the trail. So yeah, if any of those questions are really challenging for you, I would just say wrestle with them. Find an honest answer for yourself before you make that decision. It's a big deal. And yeah, real quick, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, definitely do so. As you can see, we cover a lot of different topics. We have trail talks with other hikers. We have topics like this, just questions that people ask us. And yeah, a lot of cool stuff on there. So check it out, like this video if it's helpful, and we'll see you next time. That's fine. Ooh.